Hello and welcome to our next review. Today we're talking about the game Final Fantasy XIII. How does it hold up? Is it worth your money? We're about to find out. Let's get things started with the gameplay. It can be a good and fun idea, but honestly it's poorly implemented. It does make combat extremely fast, however, there's no ability to direct your partners to do what you want them to do. This can be very frustrating when they're not even attacking the same person you are, using spells you don't wish them to use. It makes you wish you had a lot more control and really ups the difficulty for no reason other than you can't control your people. A simple implementation of the gambit system from Final Fantasy XII would have fixed all these problems. Another major gripe I have is force grinding. Now, I don't mind grinding in an RPG if you have places to explore and it doesn't feel like grinding as much as it does adventuring. Final Fantasy XII did this fantastically with a ton of areas to explore. 13, however, you would need to literally be in one place, whatever place you got stuck, killing the same enemies for hours upon hours. It reminds me of the old South Park World of Warcraft episode. And that's never a good thing. And so overall the gameplay earns a 6 out of 10. It's above average, but honestly, the flaws really start to show about 6 hours in to the game. Next up, we'll take a look at the graphics. 13's level design is what I would call lazy. It removes all exploration and instead gives you what has been called the hallway. It is extraordinarily linear, so if you're expecting an experience like, well, any other open type game you've played, this is not going to be the game for you. There is literally one path in, one path out. Admittedly, it does help you not get lost, which can be an issue in some games like these, but still, it just feels lazy and rushed, honestly. They couldn't take the time to build up towns and things for you to go through. However, that said, the graphics are really good. The facial animations are fantastic. Now, there are some areas with pop-in graphics, however, that only really happens after a long cutscene and only lasts for a couple of seconds. It doesn't bother me so much, but I figure it may be a deal breaker to some, so if it is, then there it is. Overall, I give the graphics an 8 out of 10. They are fantastic, but the piss poor level design just really leads to a lot to be desired. Next, we'll take a look at the soundtrack. Some of these themes are pitch perfect and thematic to the situation, while other times I feel like you've stepped into Dawson's Creek both in music and dialogue. I would say 90% of the voices are perfect, but some of the dialogue, as I said, is serious emo territory. Something wrong with that if you really like it, then that's your thing, but it almost feels like they're taking a step away from what the other Final Fantasy games have been trying to do, and they were emo enough. Overall, I give the soundtrack a 7 out of 10. It's above average, but again, those cliches that come into the dialogue in particular, but also the music in some cases, can be a little distracting. Next up, let's take a look at the story. The story of this game is actually very simple, but it is told completely ass backwards for the first 6 hours of the game. Now, the basic story can be summed up like this. There are creatures that are almost like gods, called fal'Cies. Some are Cocoon fal'Cies, while others are Pulse fal'Cies. Pulse hates Cocoon, Cocoon hates Pulse. That's what we're told, that's how it goes. You see, and something else. These fal'Cies can turn other people into their servants, or l'Cies. Just before the start of our adventure, something happens when a little kid is turned into a Cocoon l'Cie. He finds a Pulse l'Cie, and everybody goes nuts and tries to purge the town the fal'Cie was found in. That's the best way I can use to explain the start of this story, but the game doesn't come out and tell you this for a while. A lot of the explanations is told in the data logs, which is a good and a bad thing. I look at it like they were trying to make this almost like an interactive storybook. You play some parts and read others. The problem is, we never know what it is the characters know, so we're always playing catch-up with the narrative, which can be really frustrating as hell if you don't think to read the data logs. It's exposition. They really need to learn how to use that. And so overall, the story gets a 7 out of 10. It's a good story, a great story, but it's told so piss poorly that it just can't rate much higher on the level. Finally, let's take a look at customer care. Honestly, I found nothing really wrong here. I didn't find anything that would anger a fan base. I didn't find anything that would be so disappointing. I found no real controversy. So yeah, Square Enix did a very good job on this one. And so overall, customer care for Final Fantasy XIII earns a 10. If I can't find anything wrong with it, then I can't really take points away, can I? Overall, Final Fantasy XIII earns a 38 out of 50. It is a good game. Is it in that A-class 40 to 50 range? No. But honestly, I would say give it a rent. Play it over a weekend and see if you want to keep it. If you've made it through the weekend and you still enjoy the game, I think you'll really like it. But if you get so far in and think, I just can't do this anymore, you probably will want to just take it back. That's it for this review. For any more reviews or anything else game related, please head over to holdline.com. Until next time, my name is Vega Goose, saying that's my opinion. What's yours? I'll see you next time.